Shalom Aleichem. My name is Rabbi Shlomo Abrams from Dallas, Texas. We've been experiencing Corona, and it has created nisyonos for so many different people and so many different levels. I have a friend who opened up a restaurant a month or two before Corona. You can imagine the last few years she's been planning this restaurant, and the grand opening was a huge success, only to be shut down by Corona, to be opened up with limited customers, and she's been hit so hard. I have many friends, who got married during Corona. They waited for the big day, and they had to create a Corona-style wedding. And although it was very beautiful, but unfortunately different family members couldn't travel, and it was a big letdown. Personally, it's been a big nisayon for my family. My parents had made Aliyah a few years ago, and we look forward to Pesach celebrating with my parents, and we haven't been able to see them. Everyone's had a nisayon during Corona. When we look to the Parsha of Vayera, I feel there's an insight that could really give us chizuk and hope. Parshas Vayera, the Or Gedaliyahu points out that we know that the Akedah was the biggest nisayon for Avraham Avinu, the biggest challenge. Avraham Avinu was waiting his entire life to build the future seeds of Klal Yisrael, to develop his son, to be able to give over the Masorah of the Rebbeinu Shalom, the Torah values. And Hashem tells him that son, who he waited and prayed for his entire life, he has to bring as a korban. So at the moment when you think it's all over, the Zohar tells us something fascinating. That the neshama of Yitzchak, the first neshama of Yitzchak, did not have the ability to have children. But through the Akedah, and through the fact that Avraham Avinu was Moser Nefesh to bring Yitzchak up as a korban, his original neshama left him, and he got a new neshama, and that new neshama had the ability to have children. Which is why right after the Akedah, it mentions in the Torah that his Ben Zugo, his Zivug, Rivka, is born. Because since he acquired a new neshama, and that new neshama had the ability to have children, he merited to have Rivka, who is going to be his Zivug, his wife. And she's born right afterwards. So if you look back and you think about it, you see an unbelievable picture. Avraham Avinu, at that moment, Rav Gedalia Shor says that at that moment, he thought it was all over. But he was doing the will of Hashem. But in reality, by doing the will of Hashem, he was zocheh to build Klal Yisrael. Because through that act of Mesiras Nefesh, the neshama of Yitzchak left, the original neshama which didn't have the ability to have children left, and a new neshama which has the ability to now build Klal Yisrael is put into Yitzchak, and that is actually how Yitzchak is going to be zocheh to build Klal Yisrael. We learned something unbelievable, and it gives me tremendous chizuk, and I hope it also gives hope to you as well, that at times when we think it's all over, when challenges are so big, and we can't imagine what the solution is going to be, but we still stay strong, and we follow the Ratzon of Hashem, we have the Emunah and the Bitachon, that perhaps the exact thing which we think is the biggest tragedy, the biggest challenge, is actually the opening to new opportunity and new possibility. When we go through difficulties, especially during this Corona time, perhaps Hashem is opening up doors and opening up a new world that will bring the Geula. B'meir v'yameinu v'naimar, Amen.